Welcome back to the Paladins Minor League. I'm Fawn, your host, joined here by Nick.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the rest of these matches coming out from the PML. It's going to be a really, really great day just overall in general. I believe it's All Business is playing right now with versus
One Trick Pony.
One Trick Pony, yeah. It's a unicorn on the
icon. A great logo for sure. The biggest, conversation swirling around is, so much action happening in the minor league. So many players getting called up, kind of like fulfilling their destiny as minor league players. It's really kind of the dream. You get called up to the big leagues, but it means a lot of backfilling has to happen. A lot of new teams, a lot of new faces, some that you've kind of never seen before, but some, frankly, that, have some land experience, especially when you look at, some of the guys from the previous set on Sour Team and Penta. A lot of substitute players in that first matchup as, for instance, Ninu, substitute player, still in the minor league, but already substituting, getting called up to the Premier League and kind of filling that job.
Right, yeah. And I mean, such a dominating lead like in the beginning from Sour Team, just having a 3-0 situation. Like Penta did have
a lot of triple tank these days, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something's happening there.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly it is that's going on, like, at all. Like, triple tank is... Like,
it's cool that it's like a niche strategy.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, it's really, really awesome that we're starting to see that just more of any... like. Just more than ever, like especially after yesterday.
Right.
We're gonna take a look at believe what the first map is for the the map bans, and then that would be Frog Isle and Waters Gate, the first two bans we see, followed by Fish Market and Timber Mill.
Fish Market, Timber Mill. We're seeing kind of those closer knit bands. Gormizer was basically the prophet calling out the first couple. Yeah. We had the Bright Marsh, we had the Jaguar Falls, where that triple tank is going to be, and that's why we might be getting a little bit skewed as far as how much we are truly going to see that niche strategy come out. It's those maps pretty much.
Yeah,
it's Jaguar Falls, it's Bright Marsh. Those are the maps that it's going to work on if you even want to run it at all. And we've just kind of, had a bit of a skewed distribution in terms of seeing those maps a little bit more often in these best of fives as well. If those are more popular maps, those are going to be two of the potentially only three maps that we see. It's going to feel like we're seeing it a lot more than we may actually being so. Awesome. I'm curious to get into this set and kind of see what these guys end up picking.
Yeah, I'm really, really interested to see what it is that these teams have in store for us. But I feel like we're going to go straight to the first map, see what it is they have picked, and that will be Stone Keep is the first map it is. They'll be playing on One Trick Pony versus All Business.
Yep, so Stone Keep not going to lend itself to too many niche strategies. If anything, you want to talk about like this map having some pretty significant high ground as well as just a very, very large skybox. So Drogos is something you want to look at. Willow is something you want to potentially look at. We've seen both Willow and Tyra bans. But again, that was a little bit more to counter out that niche triple tank strategy on one of those smaller maps.
Yeah, we see that they start off immediately with the Torvald Makoa ban. It's pretty much what you'd expect to see in the con. You don't want to have that access to that on Stone Keep as well, followed by the Atlas. These are all pretty much bands that you'd expect to see more than anything. Nothing really too out of the ordinary.
The tanky boys,
you always want to try to eliminate them. They're normally the go-tos for most people.
Yeah, especially in the Premier League, and for the most part, you will expect to see mostly a mirroring of what you see in the Premier League. These players, kind of aspire, and frankly, some of them are of Premier League skill, just maybe haven't gotten that shot yet. Need to get a little bit more experience, but in terms of performing at a mechanical level, a lot of them can, execute that draft that they saw, Na'Vi or the Renegades do last week, right? They can make sure that, they draft that sort of style. They know what they're doing on a basic level. It may not be as tightened and as tuned up as a Premier League team doing it, but they're going to get the gist of it, and they're going to be able to execute roughly in the ballpark of what you would expect.
Right, exactly. You see that Barrick and Anara are the first two that are locked on All Business' side. OTP, One Trick Pony opting for the Ash, the Grover, the Leon. Could that potentially mean that with the Grover, along with his natural AoE healing and healing he has around him, he also heals up, like vertically?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like a sphere around him.
Right, exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
So you will be able to heal through walls, people below you, people above you, as long as they're kind of like within your sphere of influence. They will get that healing. It doesn't matter if they're obstructed by the map terrain.
And I feel like that might be cause for potentially a Drogos pick, maybe. I'm not quite sure. They do have the Leon to potentially deal with the Eevee. That auto aim is really, really important for her, I know, especially on Leon. She has two abilities that does pretty much do that. They actually are going for Fernando and the BK, the Bomb King. Now, could you tell me a little bit why it would be this?
Well, Fernando is one of the more bottom of the barrel frontliners at the moment. Not terrible, viable, but just bottom of the barrel, right? He's just not that high on the pecking order. So many frontline bans as well. That's when you kind of see the Fernandos come out when there's just nothing else left to pick. What he brings, pretty decent sustain. Pretty decent mobility. Good ultimate as well. I think Immortal is still, one of the top ultimates in the game. It just doesn't get to see quite as much play. I think All Business kind of got the better end of the draft here, to be completely honest with you. These are pretty good picks, but I don't think they necessarily go super well together for One Trick Pony.
Yeah, I'm a little bit leaning towards All Business's side. They have a lot of staying power. They have a lot of control over their flanks. Just the Eevee Cassie, man, like, it's so hard to deal with them. The Fernando and Ash Shields are definitely going to be struggling. However, we're going to throw it right down to the casters, I believe, for Game 1. We're going to see what they have in store for us.
Thank you, fellas. One Trick Pony versus All Business, game number 1. Gormizer, I'll give you the floor because I remember coming into today, you had a bit of a gripe, the One Trick Pony logo they have there.
Oh, that's not a pony, Dave, as it turns out.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Can ponies be unicorns?
Well,
Like, is there a
that's the question.
Of
it's like
unicorn that is pony?
All ponies are not unicorns, but are all unicorns ponies?
This is a question for Google.
It's a Venn diagram question. It's
a Venn diagram question.
It's one.
Yeah, well, because, in my mind, you have, I guess, smaller horses, which are ponies, right? Are they baby horses? I don't even know where the classification of pony is. You know what? Anyway, hey, how about this game? Some missed shots there from Nixus. Let's get on topic. That was a very me start to the cast we just had.
I was going to say, you thought you'd be able to stay on topic with me around, but that's not. I set you up for failure there in that case. Slapidopoulos, notably, coming over from the Paladins Console League, finding the first blood in this game. But Doodle and Nixus, they find kills 1 and 2 for One Trick Pony to answer back. All Business doing a good job of holding up this high right-hand side here as the shield rolls on through. Bit of a shield duel there with both Ash and Barrick. And I'm backing way up if I'm All Business right now. I see One Trick Pony rolling through. Stack of 5 with the Grover. A couple bomb sticks, and Slapidopoulos is out. He's able to get himself a nice bowling ball shield and get out of that high ground. Not before Doodle, though. Notably playing the Fernando this time around. Finds a kill onto Madara.
Dave, I'm going to be 100%. If I had to guess anyone on that team that Slapidopoulos was going to be playing, Barrick would not have been my #1 list for him. And I think we're starting to maybe see a little bit of why. It's just not the role that he's been playing for a long time.
True.
I mean, he's been a DPS, been a very notable Kinessa in the console scene, not necessarily known for his Barrick. But I am excited to see something on that side that is Madara, once again. I mentioned him during the last set. So we had a couple of people of the very old B5 roster that was from the CIS, BGS, and Madara is one of those players that when it came down to it, things didn't work out. He kind of disappeared from the scene for a little bit, and now that he's back, it's just nice to see him playing again.
He started off this game pretty well for All Business right now. I mean, a couple deaths on their side. Unfortunately, One Trick Pony, they're going to be the team to grab point #1 here. He's able to bowling ball his way out. Slapidopoulos caught up here in this high ground, though. Shields, health bars melting for All Business. They have to back off here, look for a little bit of healing from the Moldamba in this case. Madara down on the low ground now. Just getting himself out of danger as Slapidopoulos tries to hold down this left flank. We haven't seen too much Bomb King, though, recently, Gore. Why do we see it maybe a little bit here?
Honestly, I think it's just when it comes down to it, there are a couple of maps he does really well, and you're looking at players that I would argue have been around long enough that, Drogoz can work on this map, but he's not someone you're going to go instinctively. Actually, I think in this matchup he would have been really, really solid. But some people just like their Bomb King. And I think, honestly, that's what it is for Defit. He's in a perfect zone for this right now. Because we even saw, Andrew Doodle, one of the most notable Bomb Kings I think I've ever seen in Paladins.
True. He's playing the Fernando.
Kind of struggling with it last game.
He's playing the Fernando this time around. He has the Immortal. They're not going to need it. That was about as smooth a push as you hope for on the offensive end. Just a couple of kills, goes right on through.
Only having 1 death that entire time. It is onto the Bomb King, so I guess you can kind of keep that in mind. But honestly, it is exactly what you need. And Defit, that's, 3-1-3, it's not a stellar round, right, when it comes down to your KDA. But compared to what I've seen out of him in the past, when, he subbed in, I believe, for Blazing Asars, that's phenomenal.
Gore,
this is
harsh.
a very,
3-1-3 is okay.
Well, because before
I never want to be on your team. I'm going to be 10-0, and you're going to be flaming me.
Blazing Asars, they didn't hit all the check marks they needed to, right?
Right.
This time around, Andrew Doodle, Defit, You can see Surrette's, I think, all kind of coming together and linking in a way that I haven't really seen them link in the past.
Sure.
And it's feeling a lot fresher, this split.
It's looking a lot fresher as well. They're off to a 2-0 start. Ice Storm answered back, though, by the Whirlwind's going to keep One Trick Pony nice and healthy as Madara tries to find something for himself here in this fight. So low as King Bomb starts to roll through. Immortal as well, maybe even sets that up, gets a double stun, a double kill, maybe 3. Make it 3. Slappadopoulos, the last to fall as Closar pulls one back. He's only Closar to the base as he ends up finding death in that engagement. It looks like One Trick Pony are well on their way to point number 3.
And I mean, that's like, DeFit comes out of that and he's like, you know what? That's worth. Like, you use the Immortal, you use the King Bomb, and both of those in tandem means you can't kill that death ball that is rolling straight at you. That's the best part about it, is your clean slate, handed at least a stun. Gets the triple kill? Yeah, of course he dies for it, but he doesn't care. Closar can hit that last shot all day.
Sure.
It's a 3-for-1 at the end of it, and that's 87% on the point without comeback mechanic there for One Trick Pony, whereas All Business are going to be the ones kind of controlling it right now. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Former point tank for Na'Vi, if you go back a little over a year now. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. He's doing his job just as well as he can here. DeFit, though, finds another first blood in this engagement. A triple kill in the last one. Closar is no more. The next one to win this fight is likely going to get this point. Enlightenment rips through, no kill, but some damage onto Unbelievable, and DeFit is just teeing off from this high ground here. Slappadopoulos only finds death on the point this time around. That's actually a very good Ice Storm from Madara. Closar is able to capitalize, find himself a kill. In for the touch, but he's sort of off on an island on his own, and One Trick Pony yet again find themselves winning the mid-fight.
You know, Dave, I feel like I didn't answer your earlier question well enough as to like why Bomb King,
Sure.
like, why we've seen him essentially twice today versus almost no time at all.
You can amend your answer as new information comes
I'm
available.
going to amend it as I have no idea if he can do this. Why people are not picking him? Like, granted, I do understand right now where the meta is at. He maybe doesn't quite fit into the formula.
Doesn't fit in?
But sometimes
yeah, baby.
he doesn't have to fit in if you can just, again, this is like, you know, you've got a square, you're trying to make it fit in the circle, but they also came with a giant mallet to make sure that square is going through. They made the hole a square for this Bomb King, and DeFit is making it work in a stellar manner.
Absolutely. Another kill onto Madara. Excited to see what his slash line looks like towards the end of this game. Somehow the only one on One Trick Pony that is not on a killing spree right now. Double digits for everybody. 19 notably for the Grover Whirlwind. They want to end this game right now, and with 2 kills on the board, they might just do it. Madara into the ice block trying to stay alive, but he only finds death as Stop Me cleans that one up. Down goes the Damba right into the King Bomb, though. Xenos, maybe the last to fall in this game, is Unbelievable. Throws one last-ditch effort out to it. Dome Shield, though, maybe pulls things back a little bit, but the Immortal cancels that one right on out. And there's so much grouped-up damage here towards the bottom. They're throwing everything they possibly can at the wall here. Not going to matter as One Trick Pony finds the win.
I mean, if you're going to be a one-trick pony and, like, if you
Just
can
bet.
only play those 5 champions, that's honestly all you need, because most of them weren't even, like, crazy high priority. Like, I mean,
Right.
you get the Ashe maybe, but, like, Fernando, hardly ever picked. Like, he's kind of the scraps of the front line. Bomb King is one of the scraps of the Blasters, and they played them at that level that it is going to
True.
not only win one game, but, like, it will continue to knock down those dominoes and give them the full stack.
Unfortunately, you don't have 5 bans, because if you're playing against One Trick Pony,
Yeah, then
this
that's
is
the
the
set.
lineup you have to ban out every single time. But what a game, and we noted, of course, the Bomb King, huge plays from DeFit that time around. But but again, that only tells, I think, like half the story. We'll see in the post-game stats, because everyone towards the end of that game was streaked out. Surrette's 24 streak, up in the 20s for the healer on One Trick Pony, 18 for Stop Me. And DeFit, again, somehow the lowest streak in the game, 65k damage, and as fast a game as it is, that's very impressive.